Hey everyone, I hope you guys are all having a great Sunday. Today we're going to be talking about Bitcoin and what my plan is because right now we're in a very weird situation, all right? So, what I'm going to be doing this week is actually buying a little bit of Bitcoin in long with leverage Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I think I'm also going to start today. I'm basically just waiting for Bitcoin to take one little pump, and I'll kind of describe what that pump is going to look like here in a second, all right? So, if we look on the weekly chart very fast, we did have a new high last week. That's going to be very good to see. On top of that, we have the MACD still being bullish. We have the stochastic really having that turnover here, getting into more bearish territory. We haven't gone back down below the overbought territory, so I'm kind of just like, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Usually once we start getting back below that, you know it's a prolonged downward move. We haven't had that yet, okay? Now, and we also have the RSI still being bullish, so we're seeing some nice stuff on the screen at this moment in time on the weekly chart. The daily chart is kind of a weird one at this point, so you can see MACD is still bearish. Nothing has changed there. The stochastic has gone back into bearish territory. That's new. And of course, the RSI, if I bring it up here, it's in more of this neutral bullish tone, I would say. It's better than neutral, but not really great. That's the way I'd probably describe it. However, if we actually just pay attention to the chart here for a second, we do have a few things going on. We do have a 20-day moving average right below us. That really does mean there's going to be some continued volatility over the next few days as far as choppiness is concerned. What I'm hoping here is if you guys look at the last few days, we've managed to have these higher lows, and today we're still managing to hold that support level from yesterday. Not a massive one, but just from yesterday, it looks to be around, well, let me just give you the precise number here just so I can do that. $43,397.05, all right? That's really going to be my stop loss right now if I'm doing any day trades. If, for like I told you guys, for swing trades for the week, it's going to be all the way down here at the order block around $42,000, kind of similar to what we had happen a few days ago when I bought this larger dip and we kind of ran it up for some really nice profits. So what I'm really looking at here, I would say, is going to be something of a dip and rip, and we're just kind of having this weird consolidation, and I'm waiting for us to break above this level of resistance up here, kind of around the 44,718 level. From there, I expect us to actually grind up, maybe test out this resistance up here on 45,500 for just one day, and then the following day, maybe on a Tuesday, Monday type of thing. You know, the candles are not exactly aligned with days here. That day, I'm expecting maybe a breakout on the upside, and here's why. The 4-hour chart, if you guys can see, we're barely bullish on the MACD, and I just mean barely. You can see how normally the MACD is just much more, you can see the momentum a lot more on the MACD rather than over here where it's kind of squeezed down because it's just barely holding on, and you can kind of see how we've just been barely going up and the momentum isn't really strong. Let's just call it like we see it, right? Especially on the 4-hour. We are seeing a bearish move right now on the 4-hour stochastic, and the RSI is still bullish. I'm hoping that we might have something similar to what we saw over here where we had the breakdown and then we continued to go up, barely go up, but still go up. That move that I was just talking about, what I'm hoping to see is I'm hoping to see Bitcoin break above that 44,732 level. That's the hope. I probably am going to be doing my first buy-in today, even if it doesn't break above that, with that $42,000 support level, because the 42,000 support level is going to be all the way down here. If it comes back down there, I'll take the loss. For you swing traders out there, that's probably the best one I could find. Really, for this one, it's not going to take a lot of leverage for you guys to make money because you're practically just waiting for a large event type of move, which is not your normal technical analysis trade. If you guys are more technical analysis focused, you guys are going to be buying up on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. I would say most of you guys are basically just maybe looking for Tuesday or Wednesday. You're just waiting for the signals to change a little bit here, because if you guys are going for technicals like I normally do, the technicals aren't necessarily looking that great right now. It looks like we want to make a lower high, then come back down a little bit, consolidate, and then from there we have an option if we're going to be breaking down below the 20-day moving average like we just talked about, or if we're going to bounce off and try to have a larger move on the upside where it's a very ugly chart, but because of the news, it's going to allow for the technicals to kind of be dismissed in the short term and see some of that big news really carry us on throughout the week here. Now, Going over here to the 1 hour chart, this is where things are also getting a little bit more rough. You see the MACD turning red, stochastic turning red, RSI turning red, and we had a sell signal here just a few hours ago. Hasn't really meant anything. Nothing's really bad has happened, but you can see we've made another low here, across what this past like 12, 13 hours or so. So it's meant a little bit, but honestly, I'm taking a chance here and waiting to see if we can go much higher. I can see that we're kind of, I don't even know how to describe this. We're pouting out. I don't know, like we're sputtering out basically with the momentum. I'm hoping that that sputtering will give me an opportunity to buy here in a little bit. But I think I just don't want to miss any potential moves. So I'm going to have that first trade be a little bit smaller. If we start moving up in a more aggressive way, I'll double down a little bit more aggressively, and then I'll have more skin in the game. But that first buy-in is just going to be very, very small, so I can keep track of the price, and it's going to be maybe 10 to 20% of the entire position I hope to make by the end of day Tuesday. All right. Now, as far as some of these other altcoins are concerned, they've had some rough days. Let's just call it that. Actually, we can stick it to the 1 hour chart here. Bitcoin mostly sideways. I like it. I love it. I think you guys like it too after that crazy dip that we had. Ethereum, crazy dip. It hasn't really rebounded as much, but if you guys look on the 4 hour chart or the 1 hour chart, momentum is coming back slowly. You're seeing a lot of choppiness, but there's an opportunity here to make a move higher. Altcoins are much more bearish from a technical standpoint than Bitcoin, which is why for these trades, I'm primarily doing Bitcoin trades unless I see the oscillators actually align with the altcoins. Right now, you're not seeing that on the 4 hour chart with Ethereum. On the daily chart, you're definitely not seeing that. You're looking for a whole turnover that brings it all the way back down here around 1856. That's what kind of concerns me with altcoins right now. You got stuff like ADA still breaking down. There's no relentless, there's no break happening right now. You're seeing a little bit right here, a little bit right here, and it's barely trying to hold on. You're basically waiting for ADA to break above. You're basically waiting for it to break above 53 cents before you buy back in again. That's what you have to wait for. And that's what I'd feel comfortable waiting for. You may want to buy right now at 51.46 as an entry point, if you will. But honestly, go to the 1 hour chart. It hasn't even turned over to be green just yet here. The last time there was a buying signal was over here. It didn't really work out too well because honestly, it's just kind of breaking down below those moving averages. We haven't really had as much support here, which kind of sucks because if we start breaking down below this, it's a straight flush for a lot of these altcoins. Dogecoin, something similar. Order block level of support is all the way down here around 0.073, a little bit less than where we are right now, but still bearish moves. AMP actually managed to pop up here, which is kind of interesting, but you're seeing momentum really isn't carrying on here for a lot of altcoins. AXS is down a little bit more after that pop, hitting an old level of support and trying to hold, but still everything's bearish. I would really look to buy altcoins if those 4 hour technicals really start to turn around. It could be any technicals you guys are looking for that you trust, but right now I'm looking really at that change of character. I know, maybe a 1 hour chart or a 4 hour chart, and then from there just making sure the MACD is kind of at least positive, honestly, that positive momentum. And then the stochastic, maybe just having more bullish move. RSI, I just want to see it not be an overbought territory on the 4 hour chart. But if you guys go to any of these on the 4 hour chart, it's not going to be overbought. I mean, some may be, but XRP, no. Ethereum Classic, no. That's the euro. FTM, no. Gala, no. Everything's pretty much in the oversold territory. If you guys are more aggressive as far as swing trades are concerned for altcoins, you guys are looking to take your first big bet right now. It's a high risk play, but I've said high risk plays a lot and they usually work out. It's just something that's more aggressive than I personally like to go for. But if you guys want to do some paper trading on it and see how it works out for you, by all means go for it. Just get prepared for a week of extreme volatility that you guys are just going to have to navigate. It's not going to be easy because you are going to have stop losses. Stop losses when it comes to altcoins probably require you to have a pretty aggressive stop loss, which means it's not so close up. And on top of that, what you're really going to be looking for is smaller amounts of money and small amounts of leverage. That way, if it goes all the way down to your stop loss, it's still you're comfortable with losing that amount of money. But at the same time, you're looking for those really big booms because if Bitcoin pops off, you're really most likely going to see an unorganic type of crazy move with altcoins as well. But the altcoins look so much more bearish that it's okay to have a small position just to make sure you're not overexposing your portfolio in a way that you normally wouldn't do, but because there's probably news coming out about the ETF, you may make more riskier decisions. Like I started off this video saying, I'm making kind of a riskier decision, but I'm trying to navigate that by splitting up that buying opportunity into 3 separate little buy-ins: today, tomorrow, Tuesday, and then from Wednesday, I might actually buy some in the morning if I'm up in time. But really, it's basically price targets, waiting for those price targets to hit and seeing if I win or if I lose. Thanks, everybody.